Society Today: A Sociological Perspective of the World in 2013 by Devraj Adajania. First off, I'm going to speak of culture in today's society. The word culture has many different meanings. Some people equate it with a sophistication of manners and tastes, something you either have or are sadly lacking. Broadly, culture is a system of behaviors, beliefs, knowledge, practices, values, and concrete materials, including buildings, tools, and sacred items. How about we look at Canadian culture? To this day, to the world, when we speak of Canadian culture, we automatically assume hockey. At a very young age, uncoordinated children are strapped with razor-sharp blades and thrown on blocks of ice, bearing stick, helmets, and pads, while the whole country takes spectacle of this. But is hockey truly the only sport part of our culture? More children seem to be participating in sports such as soccer and basketball, so shouldn't they be considered a part of our culture too? This brings up the point of culture's authenticity. A culture often becomes contested over the question of authenticity. Cultures are contested when not everyone is in agreement concerning the rightness or goodness of every aspect of the mainstream culture. This is why there are many minority versions that exist in contrast to opposition to the dominant culture. Hipsters of today, they are the counterculture. If something becomes popular, they have to reinvent themselves. Now we look at social inequality in today's society. Social inequality is a long-term existence of significant differences in access to goods and services among social groups. How's Canada sitting in terms of social inequality though? We can look at this by looking at the income inequality and work from there. Incomes for the bottom 90% of Canadians average of around $28,000. In contrast, the top 10% took home an average of $135,000, and the top 1% took an average of $381,000. Now, comparing 28,000 to 380,000 is a sizable difference. The big CEOs take home huge chunks while the workers take the crumbs. By measuring income equality has reached a historic extreme. Education. To a sociologist, the social institution of education is important because of the multiple influences it has on everything from socialization and status formation to social order and economic productivity. Today, children spend more time at school than they do with their parents. Your child, if you are a parent, is raised by strangers. In this sense, the child becomes a stranger as well. But education does have its benefits. It plays a significant role on the sociability and socialization of children. School prepares children to be productive citizens and obedient subjects. How they do in school plays a significant role in determining the potential mobility. Personally, I want to become a lawyer, and to do so I have to go through elementary school, high school, university, law school, then do a couple years of apprenticing. Then maybe I will become a lawyer. After spending about 20 years of my life in school, I will now be ready for the real world. Many would argue this is unnecessary, but in today's world and economy, your knowledge is your weapon, and the only way you can fight your way to the top is by using your weapon to the fullest potential. Briefly, I would like to discuss important figures in the sociological world. Two important figures that come to mind at first would be Sigmund Freud and Karl Marx. Freud was the father of psychoanalysis, or the analysis of the mind. Freud was interested in how the mind was developed and said a healthy adult mind consists of three parts: the ID, the superego, and the ego. Karl Marx, a German philosopher and scientist who saw the economy as a key institution in society. Marx felt that the worker in a capitalist society are exploited by their employers, and that the capitalist class passes the laws to benefit themselves. His books, The Communist Manifesto and Capital, spurred the Russian Revolution of 1917. I hope this video helped give you an idea of the world of sociology up until 2013. Thank you. The end.